Hey guys, welcome back to AFK Journey. In today's video, I wanted to show you guys a little bit of testing with Tassy at a single copy because she's actually really solid at a single copy. You'll see in this formation, she's actually like my front row position, tanking the initial hits at a single copy, and she actually works pretty well. So I want to show you this, do a bit of testing. Now, is she going to be worth it to get a single copy for absolutely everyone? I don't think so. If you're someone who has like a ton of characters at Supreme Plus, and you get like a full, wild team and stuff like that, then you're probably not going to get better value out of Tassy than some of your other options. We'll have to wait and see. But for an account like this, free-to-play account on the test server, that one single copy of Tassy, I do think could have benefits in a lot of situations, and especially if you're a much newer player, meaning you sort of came at the start of the season, so you're not yet in the season. I think a pickup of a single Tassy is going to be fantastic. I'll do my whole thoughts once I do Mythic Plus testing and stuff like that, because I'm only one copy away from Mythic Plus, which I should get pretty soon, and I'll get that testing to you guys in the not too distant future. But let's jump in. This replay, I just wanted to show you because it's a stage that just I was just cruising through stages, started losing this one with my Thorin team, thought let's slap in the Tassy, and then we basically got this result. Now, once again, she's not doing a ton of damage. That is because she is at a single copy, but it is the value she brings in being able to tank hits and also control the enemy where the true value is. Now, I'm not at a massive deficit because on this account, I haven't really been trying to push high deficits. I just don't think it's really worth it for the time investment that you need to do for it. But I do think she's going to also be amazing on auto as well. But let's go to the replay and show you guys. So you can see she's in the front row position. She takes some hits and she instantly goes into her first cheat death. Then she jumps in and she stuns. We got the Arden roots, and then we got the Arden AoE roots. And you can see Tassy's gone through her second cheat death, but she's going to come out here, and now she's going to use her ultimate. So those two cheat deaths actually allow her to get all the way until her ultimate, which I think is absolutely fantastic. And obviously I am chaining her with the Arden here so that we have complete lockout on the enemy team essentially. But you can imagine with something like this, like you could even play it slower if you had a build up Tassy, run something like the Almas in here as well, as opposed to the Lily May, and now you've just got like endless amounts of CC, which I think will be quite ridiculous. But that is just the first look I wanted to show you guys. Okay, so now on this next stage, I want to just straight away show you something instead of the working out that I did. It does look like Tassy can get overshot killed. So this is going to be the biggest problem with her at one copy. You saw in the previous one, I did actually manage to have her in the front row and survive. But she can get done with 100 to 0, or 60 to 0, or 51 to 0, and not proc her cheat death. This is the perfect example of that. If we go here, you can see instant dead. She doesn't get to proc her cheat deaths. So that is going to be a very important thing when you look to really high deficit pushing. She can be overshot and killed, which does put her susceptible to things like Odie and stuff like that. Once he ramps up the kill threshold as well, she's going to be very susceptible to that. To me, that balances her out in PvP. But once again, we're more looking at the one copy thing, and that, so you got to be careful with one copy. You can test her as a pseudo tank if she can survive. Otherwise, you are going to have to swap her around. So let's put a bit more of a tanky team in this one and see if we can get something to work out here. If we do this, ideally I want to go Lily May, but I think we're actually going to struggle because I do think our Thorin is going to get stomped out here, and we're just going to get absolutely tapped, and Tassy's going to teleport in, and it's not going to be happy times. But let's just take a look, because Lily May does stop that initial burst, which is good. Tassy is in her first cheat death. Lily May unfortunately is down. Tassy is in her second cheat death, and I do think that Tassy... Okay, there she goes. Not too bad, but I do think Tassy is going to be insane with Taylene. Because Tassy, especially like once you get her to Supreme Plus, where she starts getting the extra cheat deaths, and so she'll just like go into her little butterfly, and then the Taylene will like have time to come back. I think it's going to be quite insane personally, but we will have to wait and see. Maybe I'll have to pull Tassy on my main account as well. Let's just go ahead and do this one again. Maybe we'll try it a bit this way. Can my Thorin get an ult before he dies? No, he cannot, unfortunately, but he gets back for the second ult. And here we go, Tassy going with the stun, boom. She hasn't used the cheat death yet either, which is perfect. So she can still use that cheat death, get away from damage, because the enemy was... Dude, she got down to 10% though. So she is kind of squishy. She is kind of squishy. Once again, I am not at a massive deficit. We're more just looking at it for the control aspect. But the one problem with that one copy of Tassy is going to remain, which is the idea that... these guys run forward, don't they? I'm just going to do this to see if she can... Because she's going to avoid a bunch of them. Yeah, this I need an Almas for, but I don't have him. if I wanted to do this strategy. But yes, Tassy, the one thing that I will say is, dude, I can't even remember what I was going to say. Oh yeah, her energy recovery. So I do think you are going to have to look for better ways to get her energy recovery up. And as you can see, she can live long into a battle. That's the cool thing about her. She does live a decent way into the battle, which I do really, really like. So let's go with something like this. Boom, boom. And let's see if she can take some heat. I think these guys still target the back row with that positioning. No, they all go in and stomp Tassy. Okay, too much damage coming out there. But yes, I do think Tassy is in an awkward position, especially for that single copy where she is usable, but she does take a long time to get her ultimate up. And that is the most awkward thing about her. Now, the one thing I didn't show you guys in the previous spotlight we did on Tassy was her charms. So I might bounce out quickly and take a look at her charms over here. Where is she? There she is.
Hi.
Oh, I haven't even equipped them. Wait. Oh no, I got to craft. Yeah, I'll just get them over time. Actually, can I get these from the shop? I haven't even checked. But yeah, increase the target's damage taken by 12% for 6 seconds when inflicted with control effects on the target. So this is going to be a great effect for her even at 1 copy. Because she's going to be inflicting a lot of control effects. Obviously, it's going to be slower to get her ultimate, but when we look at the fact that even at a single copy, oops, didn't mean to do that, she still has this ability, which is going to stun them for 0.5 seconds. That is going to be enough to go ahead and proc this effect. So increases the target's damage taken by 12% when inflicting control effects on the target. So that, and obviously goes up to, and grants 30% attack. Like this obviously gets better. But this means that she's always going to be able to proc this even before she gets her ultimate off, because her base, her dance skill has a 6-second cooldown and only a 3-second initial cooldown. So she's going to start proccing that additional damage on enemies after 3 seconds, which is pretty solid. And because she does it once and then teleports and then does it again, that makes it even more solid. But I think this is more stuff that's going to make her more viable in PvP. But like I said, the 1 copy usability, it's up there with other heroes. Now, it's not up there with things like Mikola, because Mikola was obviously usable in bossing at 1 copy, which is a much bigger deal in the grand scheme of things, in my opinion. But nonetheless, it is still pretty solid. Let's try something like this randomly. I'm not too sure how the positioning of these guys works with the slot taken up by what's her face. Unfortunately, we lost the Arden. But as you can see, like, Tassy does do, like, she does live a fair way into it. So it's just a matter, I do think if I had an Olmus, this would work a lot better, because then we could really get into the chain CC where we get the roots with Olmus at the start. Then we also have a secondary, like, we have a proper tank in the team as well. And you can roll like that. The other thing we could do is, do something like this, where we use the Thorin as well. And link to the Tassy, because these guys are going to run back and probably hit Tassy as well. You see she does go into her cheat death there, which is cool. Unfortunately, we lost Lily May and Tassy just then, so didn't quite work too well. But I do think there are other things we can do. But like I said, I do think for the free-to-play type aspect, I think using an Olmus, if you have him, and this is going to apply more to newer players, because, you know, all the free-to-play players like this, you know, your Olmus is probably somewhere around that legendary mark. But yes, I do think he is going to be one that's going to slot in super well, which is kind of fitting for lore, because, you know, they're good friends, if that's the lore. I don't know. I just know they were together in the story. I don't know the actual background details of it, but you guys let me know. But that is what we are looking at. I think Tassy is great at 1 copy, but once again, it is for AFK stages. If you've got beefed up units, obviously 1 copy is not going to do enough for you in PvP to like get into your best team. It's not going to do enough to get into your best team in a AFK stage if you've got a bunch of Supreme Pluses. But for those it's more for those ramping up, getting into it. I do think 1 copy is going to be great and very versatile. As for the Olmus thing, I can't test it, but I do think a team of Iron with Arden, Olmus, and Tassy, honestly, I think it could be very, very potent. It's going to be a bit slower on the damage, so your team would look something like this, and then you'd have 1 other unit, which is a flex unit, which you could lean into control. You could use the Lily May, you could use something like the Damien for the heals, but or you could go in for more control in this type of team, and maybe end up with an infinite looping CC chain. Obviously, there's going to be units that tap out of it, but maybe you don't even need the heals, and you can just infinite CC chain to the enemy team, and away you go. I think that would be pretty cool. Unfortunately, because my Almas is not at Mythic Plus, we can't do that, but I'm trying to think who else would go well into the control aspect of this one. Even something like a Rowan to battery the ultimates of this team would be quite solid. You know, let's just go ahead and... Oh, wait, my almost doesn't work. My almost doesn't work. I'm an idiot. And I need to root these guys because otherwise they just go ahead and tap my back row. But yeah, maybe something like a Rowan. I don't know. I'm going to play around with it on my other account probably, because I will on my other account definitely pull at least one copy of Tassy to have some fun testing. But yeah, I do think there are going to be... It wouldn't surprise me if someone comes up with an infinite CC chain team using this core and then one other unit to battery it. I think that could definitely become a viable strategy that we may see. I mean, even Lenya, if you got her, but then we're getting into more whale type territory because that's a lot of units you got to have built that have been raid ups and stuff like that. But you guys get the gist. That is what I'm looking at. I'm quite impressed with a single copy. I am super stoked to go ahead and get her to Mythic Plus. I currently have her at, you can see we're working through the Song of Strife season at the moment, getting those summons. I'm at 1,400 diamonds, so I need another 1,600 diamonds, and we are 11 away from pity. So I need another 1,900 diamonds, and then I will guarantee my Mythic Plus Tassy, and I will come back to you guys with some Mythic Plus testing in the not too distant future. But so far, I am liking the one copy, but I don't think it's like a must-have on your account. Kind of like Mikola was the must-have because she could work even on beefed up accounts as a single copy in some bossing stages. Whereas Tassy, I do think she's good value at one copy for earlier progression accounts, but for beefed up accounts, maybe starting at global, one copy ain't gonna cut it, I don't think, unless we do get that infinite cycling control team, then we might be talking. But anyway, guys, that is gonna be it for this one. As always, thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing the next one. Cheers.